Welcome, everyone.
We are here to introduce you to a continuation of our absurd science of the emotional caliber, our long-form endeavor to recreate our own taxonomy of the emotions.
This is Lesson 3, and today we will be talking about repetition and the loss of meaning.
Consider the meaning of a thing that loses meaning.
Consider the loss of meaning of a thing and how it loses meaning.
Consider the plasticity of meaning and how it changes.
Consider meaning as a thing with fluidity.
Consider that meaning is not constant.
How is meaning afforded? We learn meaning through repetition, a fill-in-the-blank structure of understanding our world.
Schooling that teaches us words by placing them in front of us, individual frames of the same image blurring into a static video.
But it is that same practice of repetition that strips a thing of its meaning.
But it is that same practice of repetition that strips a thing of its meaning.
But it is that same practice of repetition that strips a thing of its meaning.
Say a word over 100 times.
Tugboat, 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 tugboat. By the 10th, I assure you will have lost your assumed bearings of the word.
And melding into beginning, iterators to the front and back being pushed in either direction, pulling the word into a misshapen version of itself, constituted of its original parts, but getting lost in itself.
Without the silence before and after. Words release their meaning from such tight grips and return back to sound.
When you record an ocean, there is no good stopping point.
When you learn to draw something, you forget what it looks like, because you know it now. You've done it over and over again.
The knowledge no longer has you by its grips.
You are no longer working for it. It is yours.
You have the knowledge now.
Faye, sweetie, how was school?
Faye, sweetie, how was school?
Honey, please, not this again.
Honey, please, not this again.
All right, Faye, I'm only going to ask you once tonight.
All right, Faye, I'm only going to ask you once tonight.
Please stop copying me.
Please stop copying me.
Well, someone lost their dessert.
Well, someone lost their dessert.
Don't make me count to 3.
Don't make me count to 3.
1.
1.
2.
2.
3.
3.
Stop copying me! 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 Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Learned in the schoolyard, the active erasure of meaning comes in the form of repeating a phrase too many times.
But a simultaneous passive erasure takes place within school walls and around kitchen tables.
Where thank yous are taught as marking sounds of a received transaction.
And I'm sorry's lose their weight by distributing it amongst too many clones of themselves.
Butter spread too thin across a mile-long saltine cracker.
Once these sounds, words, phrases, and pleasantries have been accumulated into your verbal mass of things known,
Of doors held,
of manners womaned,
of butter passed a mile long to reach your stewing mother at the other end of the saltine cracker.
who is just trying to keep up a physical tradition that
Everyone else has relegated to the realm of memory.
And you're still just repeating your stewing mother.
Constituted of her original parts, but getting lost in yourself.
Without the silence before and after. Lady,
Hey, lady.
hey, lady,
Lady.
hey, lady,
Lady, lady, lady.
lady, 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 hey, lady, 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 lady,
Lady.
lady, lady,
Lady.
lady,
Lady.
lady,
Lady.
lady, 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 lady,
Hey,
lady.
Words repeated until they are only sounds. Knowledge repeated is accepted into the learned files of a hard drive, left to sit on the shelf until it gathers a winter's coat of dust.
Knowledges become misshapen, like repeated words turn to sound.
Constituted of their original parts, but getting lost in themselves.
Without the silence before and after. When sound moves from foreground to background, ambient sound loses meaning. It becomes Nobody focuses on the dishwasher. Then came the radio.
We listened to the radio.
quotidien, c'est sur tel ou
Then it was relegated to the same sonic standing.
Background noise, because it was something we had. It was always on.
The radio became ambient and so did televisions. This repetition, a having of something that crosses a point where it no longer merits attention. A habitual ritual. Habitual ritual. A habitual ritual, 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 habitual ritual. A habitual ritual, habitual ritual, habitual ritual, habitual ritual.
And within this stream of information, we hide Easter eggs of a terrorized generation. A drive-through mindset of immediacy, buzz-feeding ourselves buzz-flavored buzzwords of mass shooting and greatness.
Without time to digest, we line our tracks with headlines and photo streams, absorbing into our bloodstream a version of a fucked up world.
We have become too
Fucking.
desensitized to know the
Fucking.
meaning of, and a
Fucking.
curse word will never carry the
Fucking.
weight of how much I
Fucking.
heard about him today.
This repetition becomes a way of taking back the desanitation of our sanity.
Becomes a way to sanitize the senseless desensitivity we have no choice but to be
Fucking.
witness to.
Media becomes misshapen.
Like repeated words turn to sound, constituted of their original parts, but getting lost in themselves.
Without the silence before and after.
As children, we ask why it can't be our birthday every day. Brains soaked in wonder, not yet wrung out, like the dish towel.
And still nobody pays attention to the dishwasher.
And still your stewing mother asks for butter.
And still the manners are womaned.
We ask why magic can't be repeated if it worked the first time.
Unable to recognize that layers of the same text create
Pockets of dense ink, blacking out the magic that can't be repeated.
And we must apply the same conservancy of practice to the mundanity of sound that only exists as words.
Introducing our own latency period in the form of silence.
Before.
And after. Consider the meaning of a thing that loses meaning.
Consider the loss of meaning of a thing and how it loses meaning.
Consider the plasticity of meaning and how it changes.
Consider meaning as a thing with fluidity.
Consider that meaning is not constant. How is meaning afforded?